Hey y'all, I want to talk about something. I was listening to this young man, this guy, he's a Christian. Um, he used to be a basketball player. I think he used to play in the NBA, but he's no longer playing in it. Um, his name is Phil Crawford. I heard him saying this. I heard him do an interview, I think, at a church. But and it was a while ago, but something stuck out to me what he said, and he said he heard this from someone else. Produce more and consume less. This could be taken in many different ways, but because we are people walking by faith and not by sight, and Christians, we're going to take it in that aspect. I'm going to read what I have, and then we can elaborate. Produce more and consume less. This could mean so many things and go so many ways, yet I see this to be whereas we must focus on consuming as much of God and His Word and possible. But what good is it truly if we are not pouring it back out to reap a harvest for others? I believe as God's children, we are to produce more than we consume. This is a breakdown of what I mean. Spiritually produce more. This means living a life that actually expresses and shares your faith, bearing spiritual fruit through our words, actions, service, and character. It's giving out what God is and has placed in you. Consume less. This refers to not continually taking in sermons, teachings, worship, experiences, and spiritual encouragement without applying or sharing them. It challenges believers to not become spiritually passive or self-centered. 1 John 15:8. This is to my Father's glory that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be disciples. James 1:22. Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. Hebrews 5:12 through 14 speaks of believers who should be teachers by now but still need milk. They're consuming but not producing. In nature, anything that constantly receives but never gives becomes unhealthy. Example: the Dead Sea takes in water but has no outlet, so nothing lives in it. So when us humans only consume but don't serve, share, or create, we risk spiritually and personal stagnation. True growth is shown by fruit. Jesus said, Matthew 7:16, by their fruit you will know them. This means that maturity is proven not just by what we know, but what our lives produce. Character, service, love, generosity, and purpose. Growth isn't just about learning, it's about living and giving. Example of spiritual production: evangelism, sharing the gospel with others; discipleship, helping others grow in the faith; serving in the body, using spiritual gifts to edify others; living out Christ-like character, love, patience, humility, and kindness; prayer and interceding, sharing in the gap, Standing in the gap for others. The dangers of only consuming spiritually. Become self-focused. Feed me, help me, bless me without thinking of others. Leads to spiritual stagnation or obesity. Lots of intake, no output. Misses the purpose of spiritual growth. You're saved to serve, not just to soak. The Christian life involves both receiving from God and giving out for God. Daily devotion and prayer. Consumption, receiving. Encouraging others, serving, witnessing, producing, giving. If we only serve, we grow fat. If we only receive, we grow fat but not strong. If we only give out, being filled, we burn out. But the goal is to grow into maturity. The goal is to grow into mature believers who overflow. Hold on. To spiritually produce more and consume less is a call to maturity, purpose, and impact. It means taking what God has given you, His Word, His Spirit, His love, and pouring it into the lives of others. It's a shift from being spiritually entertained to being spiritually engaged. And as you do what you're supposed to do as being engaged, you allow yourself to be in place when the bridegroom comes for his bride, which would be you. So we got to make sure that, yes, we have to feast on God's word. Yes, we have to read God's word, sit in His presence, and spend time with Him. But we have to also make sure that whatever is being downloaded in us, whatever we're consuming, we're giving it back out. Because Christ was brought here to save our life, to save us from sin, to save us from eternal damnation. So He died for us, and it's our turn to die to ourselves to give somebody else life. And once again, it's supposed to be a ripple effect. We have to consume less and produce more. So make sure that you are a person who is consuming but producing more. The more that you consume, the even more you should be pouring out in service, love, acts of kindness, generosity, whatever mirrors who God is. You're supposed to be pouring that back out 100 times more than what you're consuming, so that we can not only help each other, but help people who are lost to find their way to safety, to find their way to God. So I just wanted to elaborate on that. I thought that when he said that, I thought that it was something that stuck with me. So I just wanted to dig further into it on a spiritual level. And I thank God for ChatGPT. If y'all haven't heard of it, try it. But I allow God to speak to my heart. Whatever is in my heart, I write it. But I also use the tools that He have blessed us to have, to be able to dig even further than what I know, because we're all still learning. But yeah, I just thought that was awesome. So I just hope that encouraged somebody, that it helps somebody, it uplifts somebody's spirits, and has turned on a switch within you to let you know that you need to start producing. Like, stop hoarding all the information that you've been getting in your alone time and the time that God is pouring into you. Like, stop hoarding that. You need to start pouring that onto others so that you can produce a harvest that glorifies God. So with that being said, I just hope y'all have a blessed day, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.